Having an addiction to hope is something that can hold you back from achieving all your goals in life. And let me explain. On the surface level, right, having an addiction to hope doesn't seem too bad. Hope is generally a positive thing, and wanting to have hope isn't bad, right? But in reality, it's actually one of the most dangerous feelings that you can be addicted to. It took me about 3 to 4 months to make my very first video, and that video doesn't even exist anymore. I mean, it might be backed up on some old laptop somewhere, but it's pretty much gone in the ether. At least I hope it is. And this is an aspect of procrastination that will keep you in stasis forever. I mean, it's natural, right? Starting something is the hardest part. When everything's new, it's uncomfortable, and you're obviously going to be really insecure about it. But if you think about it, all your favorite, creators, right? All your favorite artists or athletes or whoever they are, your favorite anything, you don't really know how they started. And it's kind of cliche, but it doesn't matter how you start, right? It's just more important that you actually do. I remember just staring at the final cut, making small revisions every single day. But the reason I procrastinated wasn't because of any of those reasons that I mentioned. It actually wasn't because I was insecure or I was uncomfortable. It wasn't because I was just starting out. The reason why I procrastinated was because I was addicted to hope. Because as long as you don't fail, deep down inside in your mind, you're thinking that hope is always going to be there. I was thinking to myself subconsciously, if I post that video and it gets 2 views, one of them being me and not even a single watch hour, then it's slowly going to set in that I'm never going to reach 4,000 watch hours, let alone 1,000 subscribers. The reality of how far I am from my goals are going to set in, and then naturally I'm going to lose all hope. That's where procrastination starts. Nobody wants to find out and fail because then you'll lose all hope. And as long as you don't find out, you can keep that hope alive. So we kind of subconsciously keep ourselves in that space in between. You keep yourself in stasis. It's kind of like how you take a really important exam, you take your finals, you need a certain score to pass or whatever, and you try not to look at your scores or grades as long as possible until you finally have to. Because as long as you don't check, the hope of getting a good score, the hope of passing that class is always going to be there. That hope is going to still exist, so you hold on to that feeling for as long as you have to. So you don't check your grades, you gotta party, you gotta get lit, and then you'll check later when you're in a good mood, so that loss of hope won't completely crush you. Even if you take something like a gambling addiction, right? Any addict will tell you that winning the money doesn't feel like anything. Trust me, I would know. Not that I was ever addicted, because I don't really have an addictive personality, but I know what it's like to win a lot and have it mean absolutely nothing. Like, bro, I remember seeing that money in my account and I'm like, I don't feel anything from this. And that's ultimately what got me to stop. But losing money definitely does feel like something. It feels like shit. But at least you still feel something, albeit a negative feeling. So that's not really the addicting feeling either. You know, you miss the parlay by 1, you're in a 2x deficit, you get pissed off, you double down, you lose some more. Your life sucks, rinse and repeat. For a lot of gambling addicts, what they don't understand is that what they're addicted to is the feeling of hope. It's the moment where you put your chips on the table or you put your money in the pot. It's the moment the dealer is dealing out the cards. That moment of suspense is where hope lies. You're playing blackjack and you get a face card or a 10, and then you got that feeling of hope. A face card is great, you might even get an ace. You might even get a blackjack, you start getting excited. You might even have a side bet. Having a side bet is more chances for hope. Let's say the dealer shows a 6, your feeling of hope gets even more elevated. That's where the high is in gambling that people don't really talk about. And then your second card comes out, you get another face card. Lost a little bit of hope, you didn't get the blackjack you wanted, you didn't get that ace. But a 20 versus 6 is still great odds. And then the dealer's second card comes out, she gets a 5. Now you lost a lot of hope. Because an 11 versus a 20 is dangerous for you. But you still got that hope as long as the dealer pulls a 9 or less. Then let's say the dealer flips a 5, which is a 16 versus 20. You feel relieved that she didn't get the 21. But you're still not in the clear, and then the dealer hits again. Next card, dealer flips a 3. You barely win by 1. That's where the addiction is. It's in the moment that the cards are being dealt, the moment the ball is being spun on roulette, the moment that the dice are being rolled. It's that anticipation, that feeling of hope that keeps you in stasis. And you can apply this to anything in life when it comes to procrastination. That's why hope can be so dangerous. Same applies to anything. And you might think, well, what if I'm just afraid of failure? Maybe that's why I procrastinate. I'm afraid to fail. I can actually almost guarantee that 9 times out of 10, you're not actually afraid of failure. You're probably way more afraid of opinions more than you are failure. Because you fail in secret all the time. We all do. I don't care if someone portrays themselves as the most disciplined, most successful person. We all fail in secret all the time. For example, you say that you're gonna wake up on time. And then you wake up, you feel tired, you grab your phone, you scroll for a bit, and you fall back asleep. Or you press that snooze button for another 5 minutes. You say that you're gonna be on time, but something happens and you end up late. You say that you're gonna start dieting and exercising, but it's cold and you don't feel like working out anymore. You say that you're gonna start hitting the gym, but the day you wanted to, it started raining. I mean, you can't control the weather, right? So you end up not going. You say that you're gonna stop playing so much video games, but then they just drop the holiday event, the holiday special that's only lasting for 12 days. And you gotta log in to get that special event. You say that you're gonna start spending more time with your kids, but your homies wanted to hit up the strip club after work and your wife is being annoying. And since New Year's is coming along, since 2025 is knocking at the door, how many people, or like what percentage do you think actually achieve their New Year's resolutions? You tell me. I mean, the problem with that is just most people look at it as a new year, a brand new slate, instead of a new day. How you approach New Year should be how you approach every single day. And the point is that we fail in secret all the time. If it was something we were so afraid of, we wouldn't fail as much as we do. It's kind of like how we say that we're uncomfortable with our life or situation, but then you don't actually do anything about it. So is it really that uncomfortable? You say that you want to start this thing, but is it really a burning desire or is it just an itch? It's kind of like if you were outside in the freezing cold, you would move or go somewhere to find shelter. You would eventually force yourself to find some sort of heating source because the freezing cold is uncomfortable. If you say that a situation is uncomfortable and you don't do anything, you don't move, then is it really uncomfortable for you? If you say that you hate being fat or overweight or you're uncomfortable with yourself but you don't do anything, then obviously you're not that uncomfortable with it. Like the feeling of hunger is uncomfortable, right? So you naturally just start looking for food. Just like if you couldn't breathe underwater, you would frantically start swimming to the surface to get some air. And the reason why I say that you're afraid of opinions is because we're human. It's human nature. Going back to the core of human nature, I said this before, what do we want? Every single person wants to be accepted. Every single person wants to feel loved. Every single person wants to be validated. On a biological level, being accepted in a group heightens our chances for survival. And being rejected, being ostracized means being alone, which means death. That's why there's a correlation between loneliness and a shortened lifespan. Forget about the fact that in the animal kingdom, the lone wolf eventually gets hunted down by the pack, no matter how strong. Being lonely actually lowers the quality of your life in every aspect because we need connection. If you're lonely, then you're gonna start seeing these other aspects of your life deteriorate. That's why I can't really blame someone for compromising their morals, their beliefs, their values to be accepted and to be loved. We all in some way, shape or form run from loneliness, just in different ways, so it's kind of understandable. It's just some are willing to go more lengths than others, especially the more you care or the more other people's opinions matter to you. So you're not really afraid of failure because in reality, we fail every single week. We fail every single day. We fail in secret all the time. You're afraid of other people's opinions. You're afraid of not succeeding because society or your peers will view you as a loser. You're afraid of living with your parents too long because of society's perception. You're afraid of working certain jobs because of other people's opinions of you. You're afraid of people calling you weird, not being accepted, not having friends. You're afraid of doing something different because of what people might say. You're afraid of your YouTube videos not getting any views, or your Instagram pictures not getting any likes, because you're scared of perception. It's like how a YouTuber or creator will delete a video if it doesn't get a certain amount of views. Or you might hide your likes on your post. Not because you care yourself, but you're afraid of what people are gonna think. You're afraid of perception and opinions. And I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. I guarantee I'll read your mind. Right now you're thinking, Derek, do you ever get tired of speaking so much facts? I've never seen someone break things down with the perspective that you have. And the answer is no, I don't. It's what I do. But in all seriousness, right, if you can find a way to free yourself from the fear of opinions, as well as the addiction to hope, because I swear these two things hold so much people back in life. It can literally be the difference between whether or not you achieve your goals, or are even courageous enough to set those goals that you want for yourself. Being able to get over those two things is like a cheat code in life, because you're not going to be afraid to start anything or go for what you want. You're going to stop procrastinating and stop sitting in that feeling of hope. And every time you want to do something, you're just going to do it, no matter whatever it is that you want to do. And you're not going to fear failure because you won't care about the opinions of others. I mean, obviously we all care to a certain extent, but you can't allow it to affect the way you move. That's the key. Bro, I swear it's literally a hack in life. And I sympathize with a lot of people that feel that social pressure that are my age, that feel the weight of the opinions around them. It sucks and it's going to hold you back in life and keep you unhappy forever. Like, forget about money, status, respect, materialism. Forget about society's definition of success. It's about living a life that makes you feel fulfilled and purposeful. Because even if you're not close to your goals, right? The feeling of waking up every day and being happy on your journey and being on your climb, then you've literally won in life. Because let's say you had all those things, right? Money, status, materialism, just society's definition of success, right? What would you be doing in life if you had all those things? If the answer is the same thing you're doing right now, then you won. Anyways, hopefully you got something from that. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that. Thank you for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. And with that said, make sure you stay true. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.